Welcome. Antoine Bordes, you're based in Paris and you're with Facebook.
Yes, hello. I'm leading the Facebook AI Research Lab in Paris. We opened this lab like 3 years ago. It's part of the different lab that Facebook has to do artificial intelligence research. Facebook currently has like 4 labs in California, in New York, in Montreal, in Canada, and in Paris. And the lab of Paris has been opened 3 years ago, and now it's the biggest of the 4. Okay, so it's very interesting to see how we are able to develop research, fundamental research, or excellent research in France with French partners. So the lab is made of scientists, research engineers, but also a lot of students. So we are very happy to be in France because we can use what is called the Sift Program. The Sift Program is this program that allows like PhD students to do their PhD between the university and a company. And so with that, we have right now a total of like 15 students who are actually in the lab doing their PhD and working on topics that are shared between Facebook advisors and advisors in the university.
That's very interesting. And you mentioned this morning in this morning's panel discussion that a lot of the tools that Facebook is working on are open source.
Yes. Yeah, it's very part of the DNA and of the culture of like the lab of Facebook AI research. And it was when Yann Lequin opened the lab like 4 years ago. He was really at the core of the mission. He said, if we want to do like the best AI research possible, it has to do research that is in the open and collaborative with external partners. Okay, because if you're doing research in a closed environment just for yourself, not sharing your results, first you're not creating an ecosystem, but even worse, you're doing bad research because you can't confront yourself to criticism for your peers. And so basically you can just go in a very wrong way because you can just feel that you're doing great stuff even because nobody is here to contradict you. So that's very important to doing good research, has to be in the open. So at Facebook, the way we're doing that is that the lab of Facebook AI Research is publishing everything that it's doing and open sourcing all the code. So it's really like completely transparent in terms of what we're doing, how we're doing it, and why we're doing it. And it's very important when we're collaborating with universities through this PhD program, for instance, because of course a university won't really want to train a student with us if we say, okay, you work with us, but basically everything that the student is going to do with us is not going to be published and you can't really access it. Doesn't make sense. This is not research. So the way we do is that, yes, you can work with us. Everything's going to be in the open, and that's working very well.
And I can imagine that by working this way, it also broadens the scope for inclusion of people all over the world and diversity.
Yeah, I mean, something we are very sure about is that in the lab, at Facebook AI Research, or even at Facebook as a whole, we don't have all the clues and all the ideas about what AI can be used for, what are the new developments that AI could bring. And so it's very important to be able to share what we are capable of doing with the community, so that a lot of good stuff can emerge. I mean, I have tons of examples, but basically the code we made open source is used by tens of developers around the world. Okay, and we have some examples about people using it to do like some art shows because they help them to display like message in real time, for instance. Some others are using it to do like spam detection in their own company because everything is completely an open source. So you can use it to build your business on what we're doing. Some other startups in Paris are using it to develop their own product, and we are very happy about that because that's really the purpose of it. Another point, on top of the open source, we also want to make sure and to help people to be aware of what AI is capable of. Okay, so the code is there, but if nobody knows how to use it and what it can do, it can be a bit useless. So the second effort is that how we can use in AI education for people, and especially we should be doing that for everybody, but for us the first stage is like developers, the developer community, who are people actually trying to build new technology, trying to create businesses, trying to create startups, and we want to empower them with AI. So we partner with the school called École 42, École 42 in Paris last fall, and we created this program called AI Masterclass. So during 2 months, we gave like 5 lectures of 1 hour. So researchers from our lab went in 42 and were giving lecture about the basics of computer vision, the basics of speech recognition, the basics of natural language processing. So every time 1 hour. And everything was based also very practical with like code available. So they were showing, okay, this is how you can transcribe voice. And it can seem complicated, but these are the 5 lines of code, and then you can use it directly. So it was very popular. And we recorded the whole sessions in video, and we broadcasted them in what is called the Developer Circle program. This is communities of developers sponsored by Facebook around the world, and we live cast the video to the developer in Europe, Middle East, and Asia. And we had more like 40 cities all around the world, in Africa, in the Middle East, that were engaged to look at the video and to basically look at what we're doing, and they were organizing meetups. So in the end, we reached more than 15,000 developers all across Africa and the Middle East and Europe that were engaged through these lessons. And the nicest part of that is that we were organizing after that live Q&A, so all the cities could actually tune in to ask questions to the people who gave the lecture in the morning, and they could ask questions, how can I train my convolutional neural net to recognize better because I'm using something on agriculture, I'm in Tanzania and I would like to use this kind of stuff, and so you're giving the code, but what are the practical tricks that I could use to do my thing? And we are here on live to basically try to give them. So this is really something that I think we want to develop more, is that, okay, we have the technology, we're making it open, but then we have also to help people to try to use it.
Well, that sounds really terrific. And I want to thank you again, and thank you for the panel this morning. It was very interesting, and thank you for being here at the web conference.
Thank you very much.